Hi everyone! Welcome to today's live stream on Verishop. Thank you so much for joining me on a Tuesday. I typically do an episode every Monday at 6:30 p.m., but this week with the long holiday weekend, I am coming to you on a Tuesday. I hope everyone had a really great holiday weekend or long weekend or however they were able to enjoy it. And I'm so excited to be talking about some of my skincare and wellness favorites today. A little bit about me if you're not familiar with me or you haven't been able to join for some of our past live streams. Um, I'm a lifestyle creator based out of San Francisco, predominantly focusing on beauty and skincare and fashion and sustainability. From 9 to 5, I work myself actually as an influencer manager at a skincare brand. So that's definitely a big passion for me. But I'm so excited to be recapping some of the products that we've touched on in the past couple weeks and being able to reshare those with you guys. I know not everyone has been able to join every single live stream, which is totally okay. But the really cool thing is that today, since we get to talk about some of these products again and some newbies, you will be able to get that 15% off discount if you were interested in shopping and weren't able to snag that previously. So I'm going to be diving into some of the products that I talked about in the past 2 weeks, as well as a couple newbies that I'm really excited to share with you guys. But first, I'm going to talk about Indie Lee. So Indie Lee is an incredible skincare brand that I've had the pleasure of getting to try these past couple weeks. I did have 3 products that I wanted to talk about with you guys from Indie Lee, but unfortunately 2 of them are so good that they're sold out, but that should tell you how good this last one is. And it's actually one of my favorite products from them, and that is the squalene oil from Indie Lee. I'll present it now. There we go. And as usual, please, 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 if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and I will answer them as I go because I want to make sure I can answer all of your questions. But from Indie Lee, I'll be chatting about the squalene oil. So Indie Lee overall is a really amazing skincare brand because they really focus on clean, cruelty-free products. And none of their products, they have a whole list on their website of like over 1,000 ingredients that they will never use in their skincare products, which is so important. As everyone always says, I feel like this is something people say a lot when they talk about skincare. Skin is your largest organ, so you want to be putting things on your body and in your body that you feel really good about. And I think that's actually a really good theme for all of the products we're talking about today. All of the brands are clean ingredients and really make sure that they're giving you all the benefits without any nasty ingredients that you wouldn't want to see in something that you're ingesting or something that you're putting topically on your skin. So that's a really cool thing about Indie Lee. And something nice about this oil in particular, which is 100% olive oil derived squalene oil, is that they don't use any essential oils. So essential oils sometimes can be a little irritating for sensitive skin types. But this oil doesn't have any of that, so it's truly just the squalene and some other ingredients to give you some additional skincare benefits, which makes it really, really good for dry skin, sensitive skin, oily skin, any kind of skin type. And a little bit about skin types and oil, because I know there can be kind of a little bit of confusion around if you need an oil in your skincare routine, if you have oily skin, or what it needs to have oily skin or dry skin. But I personally think that pretty much everyone needs a really good hydrator in their skincare routine, regardless of their skin type. And sometimes, actually, by depriving your skin of the hydration that it really needs, you might be causing your skin to overproduce oils. So, every skincare routine really needs to have a really good hydrator to both deliver moisture and then seal in moisture so that it's not getting dehydrated. And sometimes if your skin's really dehydrated, it will create extra oil to combat that. So you might think you have an oily skin type, and actually it's just that you really need some hydration in your skin. That's a really good question. So what is a hydrator? So a hydrator is something that delivers moisture to your skin, and there's a couple different kinds. So you can have something like a cream, a moisturizer, or a gel. Those have certain ways of delivering moisture to your skin, and they help penetrate into the skin and deliver some hydration. So that would be a hydrator. And then something like an oil would also be a hydrator. An oil works a little bit differently than a cream or a gel. because it's an occlusive. So it actually seals in everything underneath, and it helps keep everything locked in without it kind of vanishing away. Sometimes you'll put on a cream moisturizer and it sinks in, and then instantly you feel like your skin's not very hydrated anymore, and you're like, was it enough? Do I need to apply more? That's because it's not an occlusive. So an occlusive will really seal everything in, which is why I really love doing an oil on top of a cream if you have particularly dry skin like myself, to kind of keep everything together. That's a really great question. So yeah, you definitely want to have at least a hydrator in your routine and an SPF, always an SPF, but really want to lock in that moisture and make sure that you're giving your skin everything it needs. But a couple of reasons why I love this one specifically. So another reason I feel like people might not feel like they need an oil or unsure about incorporating one into their routine is they say, I don't want to feel greasy, which is super fair. Most people don't want to have that greasy feeling, unless, even myself, I like feeling very, very hydrated, but it doesn't mean I want to be greasy. So this is a super lightweight moisturizer. And it's technically something that I would consider to be a dry oil, which means you apply it and after it like sinks in for a couple seconds, it's almost dry to the touch. And that's because it is just so absorbent and never greasy. So I'm gonna put a little bit on my hand. There we go. So I did just like a little drop. I don't know how well you can see that, but I did just a little drop, and I'm gonna start rubbing it in. And you'll see it sinks right in. I don't know if you can see, but my hand doesn't look greasy at all. And it sinks right into the skin, doesn't leave any greasiness. It just feels really soft to the touch, which is really important. If you feel greasy and you don't love how it feels on your skin, you're probably not going to be drawn to using it all the time. So really, really love that this oil in particular leaves your skin feeling dry to the touch, while still being really, really hydrating and incredible. And another really cool thing about it is that you can use it on your face, you can use it as a body oil, and you can also use it on your hair. And sometimes I'll like to use a little bit on my cuticles if I have a little bit of leftover product and kind of want to make sure that my hands are feeling hydrated. Also plug next week. On my live, I will be talking about hand and nail care. So if that's something that interests you, definitely hop in for that one. And I see that someone just joined. So just to kind of reorient the room, this week I'm talking about some wellness and skincare products that I love, kind of recapping some of the products that we chatted about in the past couple weeks for anyone who missed them. And then I'll be sharing 2 new newbies as well. So we just chatted about the Indie Lee Squalene Oil, which is a really, really great skincare oil. And like I said, it's really, really versatile. So you can use it kind of in so many different ways. Another good tip is that you can mix a little bit of it into your foundation, or if you use kind of like a liquid highlighter, you can mix it into that as well to give your skin some added glow and then also deliver skincare benefits when you're doing your kind of makeup routine. I have really dry skin, so almost every foundation kind of makes my skin feel dry. So I really, really love mixing in 1 or 2 drops, depending on like what kind of coverage I'm going for, to make sure that when I'm putting on my foundation, it's not making my skin look all dry, and it doesn't look as good with your makeup if it doesn't set that well. So this is a really good oil for hydrating your skin, keeping it plump and supple, and kind of adding that glow. And now I'm going to shift gears a little bit and chat about some wellness items that I am loving, that we discussed last week, actually. And these are 2 amazing collagens. So first, I'm going to talk about Cofo Provisions and the Marine Collagen Supplement. So I'm going to present that now. And please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll get to them kind of as we go. But the first brand for collagen is Cofo Provisions. And then the second will be Vital Proteins. And they're 2 somewhat different, but both really, really good collagen options for people's routines. So a little bit kind of overview. Collagen is a supplement that you can add in. Sometimes you can have it as a vitamin. I like to have it kind of as this powder that you can mix into different things. That really helps deliver both like a protein into your diet and your routine, as well as help with your skin's elasticity and suppleness, and kind of help with your skin cell turnover. Collagen is something that your body produces naturally. but some people need more and some people see less. For example, if you feel like your skin is chronically dry, or you're getting a lot of fine lines, or your hair and nail feel somewhat brittle, collagen might be a really good option for you to kind of help strengthen all of those barriers, both whether that's your skin, your hair, your nails, and help with that. Like I mentioned, I have really dry skin, so I'm always looking for things that kind of help boost my skin's elasticity and glow, and really easy ways to work those into my routine. So this collagen from Cofo is a marine-derived collagen. So you can have a couple options. This one is bovine-derived, which means it's from cows, and this one comes from a couple different kinds of fish. Both are really, really great. The thing about the marine collagen is your body does absorb it a little bit more quickly. And I will say this one in particular is really, really finely ground, which kind of helps with the way you can integrate it into your diet. So what I love about this one is that it's unflavored. They do have a couple options that are flavored if you prefer, but I think it's super, super versatile to have a collagen in your pantry that is unflavored because you can really do so much with it. So I will typically put it in my morning coffee. So I'll take a scoop of this, make my coffee and add that in, and you stir it in and you don't taste anything. It is just like your morning cup of coffee, but better because it has really great health benefits and some protein to start your day, as well as strengthening your skin and hair and nails, which is super cool. But you can also use it in other ways if you prefer. So you can put it into a smoothie, much like you would a protein supplement. You can also put it in, I put it into baked goods, I put it into pancakes. You can put it into your soup, which today I didn't have coffee, but I am having soup for dinner, so I am going to put a little bit in my soup. And again, since it doesn't have any sort of added flavor into it, it really is just delivering the benefits without having to figure out like a creative way to use it. You can really like sprinkle it into anything, and no one would be any the wiser that there's something special in there for their wellness routine. And then the other option, if you do want something flavored, because it is a little bit more straightforward, you don't really have to think about it. Vital Proteins has this matcha collagen, which I also love. So this is like your classic matcha flavor with the added benefit of a collagen. Again, this one's bovine derived. And matcha has some additional benefits, which is really cool. Matcha is a really strong antioxidant, has way more antioxidants than green tea. It also does have caffeine. So if you like to start off your morning with a matcha, or you want to cut back on coffee a little bit and want to switch to a tea, this is so, so delicious and so easy to make as well. For this one, what I'll typically do is boil some water and whisk up 1 serving of the matcha with the hot water and then mix it in with a little bit more water, or sometimes I'll make it a latte, and use a milk frother kind of to froth it up and make it extra yummy. And this one just feels like such a treat. I love having matcha in the middle of the day as kind of like a boost. And again, a really, really great way to incorporate collagen into your diet with the added benefits of matcha. Or if you're already a matcha lover, it's kind of a perfect way to combine the two things and bring that into your routine. Last week, I kind of did a live demo of whisking the matcha, but you can also totally just do it with a fork, or if you have like a small whisk from baking, you can really do it super easily. And Vital Proteins has so many other great collagen products, which is really cool. But these are my 2 favorite options for collagen because you can really decide whether you want to do something a little bit more straightforward and you know exactly how to make it, or if you want to get a little bit creative and have something unflavored, you can mix this in to really anything. And then just to compare and contrast a little bit, the nutrition facts, they are very, very similar, but I know last week people had some questions. So the Cofo Provisions is 45 calories per serving, and the Vital Proteins is 50. So again, not a ton. The protein in the Cofo Provisions is 12 grams of protein per serving, and this one has, I believe, 9. Yep, 9. And that's really it. There's no, added other stuff into them. This one has 2 other ingredients other than the collagen, which is the green tea powder, which is matcha, as well as coconut water powder to kind of add some creaminess and flavor to it. And this one is, just that marine derived collagen. So for anyone who just joined, I've been chatting a little bit about some of the amazing brands that I've been able to share with you guys in the past 3 weeks. The first was Indie Lee and the amazing squalene oil. And now I just shared collagen and protein options that I love from Cofo Provisions and Vital Protein. Let me present the Vital Proteins now, which I didn't do before. Sorry about that. So you have 2 really good options for incorporating collagen into your diet. I take a collagen option every single day. And for me, it's really become an essential part of my routine, again, to really help with my skin's elasticity and glow, and kind of deliver some of those nutrients that I need. I also mentioned that they're both really, really strong sources of protein, 9 to 12 grams, depending on which kind of option you want to go for. I'm not a vegetarian, but I pretty much don't have any meat from Monday to Friday, just because it's not something that I love to cook and I kind of want to reduce my impact. But I do struggle a bit with getting a good amount of protein into my diet. It is hard if you're not having a ton of meat and you're not having a ton of soy to kind of make sure you're incorporating that into your diet. So these are a really easy way for me to make sure that I'm getting like the proper nutrients that my body needs. I'm gonna have a quick sip of water. But something really important that someone asked me last week was, how do you know if you need a certain like wellness product or something into your routine? Which is a really good question. But I think the way I describe it is kind of figuring out what you need to feel your best, whether that's part of your nutrition or your environment or the things that you're doing. It's really kind of a well-rounded and holistic approach into just feeling your best. So really just think about the things that you need or you feel that are lacking, and go from there. It's not that you need like every single product out there. It's really about kind of finding what makes you feel balanced and more whole, which I think is kind of what wellness is really about. But I'm going to switch now into one of our new brands, which I'm really, really excited about for the day. And then I'll finish up with one that I touched on last week as a fun bonus. But I'm really excited to share with you guys the brand Daily Wellness. And I have a couple products from them that I want to show you guys. But first, I got everything in this really cute terry cloth pouch that has the brand name on it, Daily Wellness. But I also just really love that as honestly a reminder of kind of your daily reset of taking care of yourself and doing everything that your body needs. So regardless, I really love this kind of reminder to start my day. And it's a super soft terry cloth pouch that you can also kind of just like throw in the wash, which is kind of essential for something that you're bringing around with you, whether you're traveling or bringing it on the go. I always keep a pouch of some of my essentials in my purse or backpack when I'm going to work in the office, which is not right now, but typically something I always keep on me. But I have 2 products to share with you guys from Daily Wellness. And the first is this supplement, which is the Essential Radiance Superfood Spirulina Supplement. So for people who aren't super familiar with spirulina, you've probably seen it in like smoothies or face masks, but it's like bright green. But this is a really, really amazing ingredient to kind of help your body. Typically how people describe is to help your body detox. But what that really means is that it's an anti-inflammatory and it has tons of antioxidants that kind of can help with, again, kind of that detox feeling. So inflammation can cause all kinds of different problems. And so really with having so many anti-inflammatories, it kind of helps your body reduce that inflammation internally. And then the other product we'll be talking about helps with that externally. But the 2 products we're talking about are in this bundle, which is this Super Boost Skin Duo. The first is this spirulina supplement, and it really helps with kind of cell turnover, to kind of help with your skincare as well. It really does help boost your hair, your skin, your nails, all of the glow. Spirulina also has, it helps with your what's the best way to describe this? So signs of aging. So spirulina does help block signs of aging. So kind of skin distress and dullness. And it helps reduce the appearance of premature aging. Like I mentioned, it does help eliminate toxins from the body with that anti-inflammatory, which can have skincare benefits as well, because a lot of acne or skincare problems are really caused by inflammation. There's like nasty hair right there is a little bump of inflammation and it just happens. But if you do have more acne prone skin, spirulina could be a really good way to kind of help flush out those toxins and reduce inflammation. So it does kind of help brighten your complexion, and with the increase in skin cell turnover, it'll help with your glow as well. So this is a really good option to kind of help your body cleanse from the inside out. I don't have acne prone skin necessarily, but I do find that it really helps kind of boost my glow and make sure that my skin is feeling more healthy and like it's turning over more quickly from having any like problem spots, which is really great. And spirulina is definitely a great like booster to have in your routine. And then the other product from Daily Wellness that also harnesses kind of the power of spirulina, which I love, I'm going to put it on right after this, is the Hydrating Superfood Mask. It's the Nourish Greens Hydrating Superfood Mask. It also has that amazing ingredient of spirulina, as well as a couple others that have some awesome skincare benefits. So this is a hydrating mask, which means it kind of helps dehydrating skin. And unlike the hydrator that we talked about before from Indie Lee, this would be kind of a boost if you're having a really, really dry skin day, or if like me, you kind of always have really dry skin and you really want to get everything you can on your face to kind of help moisturize. But this is really great for dehydrated or dry skin. But it's also really good for sensitive skin because, again, no BS ingredients in any of the products I will ever talk about, because that's super, super important to me. But it's really easy to apply. You'll just kind of take it out with a pump and then add a super thin layer. I'll put a little bit on my hand to show you the texture. It's kind of a light mint green color. I don't know if you can see that. And it has this kind of creamy texture. You can see a little bit of like spirulina grain in there, really thin. So you'll just want to put on a layer like that and let it soak in for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it will feel a little bit more dry to the touch. And then you can gently rinse it off with a warm washcloth, or just a little bit of water to the face. And like I mentioned, it is really good with sensitive skin, but even acne prone skin needs extra hydration. I mentioned this a little bit before, but there's a lot of confusion around kind of what our skin types are and how we identify that. But regardless of your skin type, you really do need to deliver hydration to your skin. And if you're depriving your skin of the hydration that it needs, sometimes it can overproduce oil. So even if you have kind of a more acne prone skin type, or oily skin type, I do recommend using a hydrator. Whether again, that's through an oil or making sure that you're super boosting kind of your skincare routine with a really good face mask that helps hydrate. And you can also be selective of where you apply. So you can do it just on your forehead if your forehead's really dry, or if your T-zone is oily but the rest of your face is dry, you can kind of pick and choose. So this has spirulina and a couple other, or a handful of other really great ingredients for the skin, which include, it has shea butter, almond oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, and jasmine oil. All of those have really amazing properties that help with inflammation and signs of aging, and also help create a nice protective barrier on your skin, which is super important. And it's really, really moisturizing and gentle, which I think is really important. You never want to put on a face mask that makes your skin feel like in pain or create redness or tingling or anything like that. So I always tell people who want to go in with like a really aggressive treatments that skincare is not the place where you want to fight fire with fire. If you have a breakout or a pimple, the last thing you should do is kind of jump in and pick at it or put something really aggressive or harmful on it. Really going in with gentle products is, I think, typically the best way to go. That doesn't mean not to use active ingredients, but I think that means kind of easing things into your routine and make sure that you're also balancing it out with things that are really gentle and hydrating, and kind of help mitigate some of the negative sides of using anything like more harsh. So really, really great option to have a really gentle face mask that really helps hydrate your skin, and does have those oils like shea and jojoba to help kind of balance out anything a little bit more tough on the skin and provide protection and moisture, which is super important. And another really cool thing about spirulina is that it has all of the amino acids, every single one of them, which does help boost collagen production. I mentioned this a little bit before when we were talking about the supplement. But spirulina does help with collagen production. And for topical use, that means that it does help with skin cell turnover, which kind of helps the elasticity and suppleness of your skin, which in turn helps with aging. If you think about a wrinkle, which you could consider to be kind of like, right, a dip in the skin, if your skin is more supple and plump, those wrinkles will appear less wrinkly. So a really great way to kind of combat some of the signs of aging, or to use products that kind of help with suppleness and plumpness to kind of help give your skin that glow and help with anti-aging. So I'm going to put this on like literally right after we hop off, and I put away some things and make some dinner. But this is a really great mask, super quick to use. You can use it morning, daytime, in the middle of the workday, at night. I'm going to really help hydrate your skin. And then my cat is sticking his paw under the door. He is so mad that he's not in here with us. But he's just a distracting kitten, so he can't be here. And for anyone who just joined, I've been chatting through some of my favorites from the past couple weeks, as well as some new products that I've been loving. We chatted about Indie Lee, which has an amazing squalene oil that I love, a really great hydrator for your skincare routine. I also chatted about 2 products that I love that include collagen. The first is Cofo Provisions, which is a marine collagen that is unflavored, and then a matcha collagen from Vital Proteins, which is also delicious. And then for a fun newbie, we chatted about Daily Wellness, and they have some amazing products that are based in spirulina. So not only do they have a really cute skincare pouch, but they have this spirulina supplement that is like a great boost to your routine, as well as this hydrating face mask that I love. And for anyone who hasn't been able to join the past couple weeks, a really fun thing about these lives is that during and 30 minutes after, you will get 15% off anything from the live. So if you weren't able to snag some of the stuff that you were interested in the past couple weeks, this is a really good time to do it. But last but not least, I'm going to share a little bit about PF Candle Co., which is another brand that I love. Sending it in the audience now. There you go. So you'll be able to take a look. So PF Candle Co. is a super, super cool brand. They make everything locally in LA, and it is 100% soy derived and soy wax for the candle. And a really important thing for me with candles is 2 things. One, that it's not releasing harmful ingredients into the air, both because I breathe it in and because it's going up into the air and who knows what it's going to do to our planet. So it's really important to me that PF Candle Co. really cares about what they're putting in their candles. Obviously, they smell amazing. This is the lavender candle that I just had on during the workday. Super nice, relaxing scent. But they also have super affordable prices. And I think so many great, candle brands are unfortunately priced so high, and we end up having to get potentially ones that don't have as clean of ingredients, or that we don't love as much. And I love that with this brand, like, you never have to compromise on any of those things. And they have so many amazing fragrances. One of the questions that I got last week about PF Candle Co. was kind of how strong do they smell, and what kind of like permeation do they have through the house. And I typically am very, very sensitive to fragrances. I do have chronic migraines, and any like really strong scent or overwhelming scent is a huge migraine trigger for me. But I love candles, so it's important for me to find ones that I love and that don't kind of have that reaction. Typically ones that are more synthetic are going to give me a headache. But these ones are perfect because while they do burn strong in the sense that you definitely will smell it when you come into the room, and you're not going to feel like, wow, I can't smell this at all. It doesn't have that kind of overwhelming, like fill up your nose, like tang to it. Like when you walk into a fragrance store or something like that. They're all super gentle, and you can kind of leave them burning for a couple hours without it being overwhelming. They also burn for super long. I had this one on all day, and there's still like so much left. So it's a really, really nice candle to have in your house. And someone also asked last week kind of how this fits into my wellness routine. And like I mentioned, I think your wellness routine is really just what helps ground you and helps you feel your best, and that you can, be your best self every single day. And my environment is a huge part of that. So having a calming, happy environment helps me do my job better. It makes me feel good. And I think that's a key to wellness as well. So this is a brand of candles that I love to have. I have them all around the house, and my roommate and I are obsessed. So I hope you get to try. But thank you so much for joining me today. We are kind of wrapping up on time, but I'm so glad that we got to chat about some of my favorite skincare and wellness products. Remember that you do get that nice discount, so if you missed anything before, this is a great time to kind of snag those. And next week, if you want to join me, I'll be here at 6:30 p.m. PST on Monday, not Tuesday. This is a special one. And I will be talking about hand and nail care, which I'm really excited to talk about. I'm like obsessed with fun nail art and fun colors. So I'll be sharing some kind of tips and tricks to making your best manicure and preserving it too, so it doesn't like chip immediately. So definitely come in next week so we can talk about all of that. But thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.